My thoughts. Well, I'm heading back now to give the bike back, and the bike is definitely agile and quick. This test ride has always been about comparing this bike versus my K1300R, and there are pros and cons on both bikes. The things I like about this that aren't so good on my K13, and there are things on the K13 I like that I don't like on this one. Things I like on this one: the riding position and the seat so far. I've been out for about an hour and a quarter, and the riding position is comfortable. No issues with a sore bum. I do suffer from sore bums. I've got an air hawk. I don't see that I would need it on this bike. I like the colour. I love the controls, but I haven't quite mastered them yet. I couldn't get any clock on there. I don't know if there's a clock. I love the cruise control. That I would definitely use. I have played around with the modes. I've been riding on road mode because I found that the dynamic mode was more for top end speed rather than riding around on the road. So I left it on road. Love the mirrors, but you can get them for any bike. Love the cable clutch. I have to say, I really do like that. I know in some reviews people have been marveling about the quick shifter. I don't use the quick shifter that much. It is definitely smoother on this bike than the K1300R, but I do use the clutch a lot, and I found the clutch to be very good. It is very smooth. I know some people have talked about the bike position, but I haven't had any issues on this bike. Maybe it's a setup thing. With an adjustment here would make all the difference. Styling, it's very racy, this bike, but K13R is a bit more conservative, I would say. I'm not a fan of chains. I'm just looking at this chain. This is a demo bike, and I can see that that chain is going to require quite a bit of maintenance, keeping it clean, keeping it oiled. I don't do Scott oiler. I would be manually spraying every time. The exhaust is noisy. I don't know what the standard exhaust sounds like, and I don't know if the baffles have been taken out of this one. It doesn't look like there are any baffles. It's a nice looking bike. The engine is very sporty. That's the difference between the K1300R and this one. The K1300R is muscle. It is absolute muscle, but it's not as quick as this one in terms of agility. You can knock down a gear on this one and instantly you've got that power, whereas the K13 there's a few milliseconds, it feels like, of pickup. But the K1300R definitely feels more planted than this bike. My lasting impressions with this bike is, would I buy it? Would I change my K1300R for this one? And the answer is I don't know. Love the brakes. The brakes on this one definitely feel more powerful. But they smell. Definitely had a smell of burning brake pads earlier, and I didn't feel I was really braking that hard. I mean, I felt the power of the brakes, but it wasn't like I was trying to do emergency stop or anything. I don't get that on the K13. I love the front forks on this bike. You can definitely tell the difference now between having a bike with forks and my K13, which have no forks, more of a wishbone sort of design. I like the forks. It definitely feels softer, yet firm at the same time. It's a strange experience, but the K13 does feel hard. Whereas this feels very firm on the road, but yet not bumpy. The K13 feels like it picks up every little bump on the road. You can set the suspension to soft, and that helps, but it definitely feels rigid. This one feels like it's got a bit more cushioning. Well, of course it will, because it's got forks. Yeah, so I see this as a hooligan bike. The K1300R can be a hooligan bike, but this is definitely hooligan in traffic. That's what I would say. It's very quick, overtaking, weaving in and out. The steering is very sharp on this one. I did enjoy that how quick you can steer in and out of traffic. On the K1300R, it's just not as, it doesn't steer as well, probably because of the longer wheelbase. This one definitely steers a lot sharper. It is lighter. But, you know, if I had to choose, if I had both bikes here now, which one would I choose? I honestly don't know. I like my K1300R. I think it's going to be hard to sell that one for this bike. So there you go. There's just my thoughts. Taking it back to the dealer now and giving the keys back. I won't be making any commitment to buy this bike at this stage. I'll think about the differences and take it from there.